Well, good morning and welcome to another segment of Meet the Candidate. And today we are thrilled to have Al Jones, who is a candidate for Oxnard City Treasurer. Al, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Bob. I think it's important that the voters have an opportunity to know a little bit about me. And so I'd like to tell you that I'm a long-term resident of Oxnard. I grew up all my life here. I'm an Air Force veteran, had a lot of world travels, had a chance to see a great part of the world, Europe. I actually lived in Turkey. And the reason I give this background because it speaks to the well-roundedness, it really speaks to my world travels, and it even speaks to growing up in Oxnard, being a part of Oxnard, being helped raised by Oxnard, but it also gives an insight as to some of my other knowledge that I picked up along the way. From my humble beginnings, I was a resident and lived and grew up in La Colonia in the Rose Park area. I've lived in every facet of the city, from the south side to the north side, east side, raised my family here. I was married, raised 2 children here in Oxnard. My mom and dad were still here. My dad has passed away, but my mom still lives here. And I have 2 brothers that currently reside in Oxnard. I've had a long-term banking career. I was a bank manager for well over 15 years, regional vice president for a bank where I managed assets right around the $250 million mark. I believe the city has somewhere around $100 million to $130 million in assets that would be under the purview of the city treasurer. So I'm very accustomed to that. It's well within my wheelhouse, and I've managed that type of those type of assets before. Also, I've worked on numerous boards, all the way from the Chamber of Commerce board to the Las Cortes Low Housing board for the city of Oxnard. I was co-chair of the Oxnard Homelessness Commission for over 3 years, and I love and adore my community. Oxnard helped to raise me. A part of my DNA is Oxnard. I think it's important for the voters to know that a person like myself, I'm just like you. I am one of you. It's us. It's not we. It's not them. It's not the other side. It is us. We're in this together. And my slogan is even, we're better together. As a city, when we come together, we are better together. I had a nice event over the weekend that I attended, met someone from my childhood back in the La Colonia days, and one of the things that she said, and it was just so endearing, is that our city and the way we grew up, we didn't even know color. We're colorblind. We ate at each other's homes. We played ball together. We hung out together. All of those things are indicative of a person who understands the plights of people who are doing well, who are people who are doing at a medium level, and people who are not doing that well. I've lived in all 3 facets of that economic sphere, from not doing that well to doing relatively well to doing very well. So I do understand the plights of normal citizens. I understand what it takes to raise a family. I understand that it takes an entire community, an entire village to raise a family. So the reason why I am running is because our city has been through a lot recently. There's a lot of negative comments about our city, some internal, some external, and I've always been a positive individual. I've always decided that I would be an integral part of my city. I would be a positive piece of my city. So my campaign is one that is focused on the good. I think it's important to look at the negative, some of the things that have not gone well in the past. We need to look at them, we need to allocate them, and then we need to find solutions to them. From there, let's focus on the positive. There is so much good in our city. Our city is a wealth of knowledge. We have a wealth of youth. The youth are going to be the legacy that we help bring up. So I want to be play an integral role in being a part of that. And I would ask for you to respectfully, if I could ask for your vote.